forward to this computer. Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here tonight for the joint call. It's kind of funny. Stephanie and I were like, oh, this is like the Freedom Family Fighters FFF, woohoo! Like, you know, I'm so excited that she's here and to have some of her coaches hop on with us, because I wanted to talk to you guys about how to make money. And I feel like in the past, I used to be nervous about this topic because I used to think sales was a bad word, but now I don't. Now I get a little nervous about it because I don't want to confuse you, overwhelm you, or bore you. But I don't think I'll do that because I drank 2 scoops of Energize. So I'm good to go. My hands are tingling. And I want to keep it simple. So Stephanie and I were talking tonight. So I'm going to talk a little bit at the beginning about just earnings. And then she's going to dig a little more into like the whole team franchise aspect of earnings, but we want to keep it simple. And then at the end, if y'all have questions, you can type them in the chat, you can unmute yourself and ask. And if a lot of stuff comes up, we might be able to maybe later do a part 2 down the road if we need to do like a next level of knowledge on these things. But tonight we just want to get to the basics. So something that we learned in a training we did with Michelle Myers from She Works His Way is she said that if you're going to work this business, you need to know your comp plan. So if you guys have never looked at the comp plan, I want you to write that down as something to do this month. Look at the comp plan. I posted in our team page a PDF. If you search FAQ, you can search like pricing, and it's a PDF, and I put it in our team page. If you want to grab it, Stephanie, and put it in yours, like it just has all of the products we sell, what the commissions are on every product, and the volume. And so I have it saved on my computer now. That's one part of the comp plan, but there are other parts of the comp plan. And even in being a coach for 5 years, like today, I realized that we make more money off Beachbody On Demand than I thought we did. And Stephanie's like, you know, we get like 40%. Yeah. And I was like, oh, shoot, I forgot that. So I'm always learning, you know, so don't think it's a one and done learning it. Like but don't be afraid of the comp plan, because this is a business. And I think what's hard is we feel sometimes like it's ministry or it's like serving people. And so we focus so much on that, which is good, that we forget to track the number side of things, and you should be compensated for your time. So I'm going to shut my door real quick because my kids are fighting, and then I'm going to dig in. Okay, sorry, real life. So there's 2 main ways that you earn in the business. And I asked you guys to print off the $200 success story sheet, and that's what I'm going to kind of use at first before Stephanie has slides, y'all. She is like, for real deal. I got to learn how to do that. I was like, I am not that square. I wish I was. I'm like envious of the slides. Courtney was funny. He's like, I'll make slides for you. I'm like, no. He's like, well, I mean, I could. I'm like, I know you could, but then I mean, just teach me how to do it later. So anyway, sorry. So there are 2 main ways in this business that we earn money, and that is retail and then franchising. Okay. So retail is in 2 ways. When you sell something to somebody, you earn a 25% commission, or 40% if it's Beachbody On Demand, and you also get volume. And a lot of times people look at the volume and they're kind of confused as to how that works. And that's what Stephanie's going to talk about. What I'm going to talk to you about is the percentage of money that you get from when you help somebody get started with one of our products. So for a new coach, or a coach who's digging back in, or a coach who's been around for a while but is interested in learning how to make money, the first place you need to focus on is serving people and their goals. And a lot of times, I've talked to a couple of coaches this week who have a goal of like a rank advancement. You know, you want to have a team and you want to be emerald or you want to be diamond, and those are good. But it starts with people and their goals. You want to create raving fans. You want to help people get results. You want to remember why you became a coach, and then help other people experience that, or why you joined a challenge group. And so when you do that, you're compensated through that commission. So for a new coach, it starts with This is why I told y'all to bring it, because I'm not going to teach on power hours. But if you didn't have a list to bring tonight, you need to make a list. Like, it starts with having a list of people that you can talk to. And you can look at all sorts of training videos and Team Courage or on our team page on how to make a list. But I wanted you to have the paper here tonight as a, like, because either you have one or you don't. And that's your starting place if you don't have a list. When you look at that list and you think of your month, what I like you to think about is, how much money would you like to make this month? There's no shame in that, you know, and the goal needs to be whatever is for you. For me, when I first started digging in as a coach, I wanted to pay for my Shakeology because we didn't have it in our budget and we were just making it work. So that was my first goal, was to earn $97 to pay for my Shakeology. I never counted the coach fee part because I felt like that. But if you want to pay for your expenses, then you need to total that and say, I want to earn $120 so I cover my expenses. If you have, you know, a goal of like, I would like to earn $250 because that would pay for these things. I think it's important when you set a goal to have a plan of what it's applying to, because when you don't feel like doing your power hour, you'll do it. So for me right now, my goal is to pay for this weekend. I'm taking my 12-year-old on. It's like a mother-daughter birds and bees weekend. And we have the money for the hotel, but I want to earn money to pay for us to get pedicures because she's like that kind of girly girl, and it's not in the budget right now. So my screensaver is a picture of Gianna. I printed my $200 story. Like, I'm still doing this. So that's my goal. But I know why I'm doing it. And the reason I say that is because it's really easy to be like, I want to make $500 because I want to be in the $500 club. Well, that's great. But if you don't know why you want to make $500, then you don't make it in the first month. You're going to get frustrated and you're not going to fight for it. So think about how much you want to earn and think about like this month, and then think about what it would be used for. So that's number one. Two, how many people do you need to help to reach that goal? And also, how many people do you feel comfortable helping? There are coaches that you've seen who hit Success Club 40. I don't feel I could help 20 people and take care of them right now. So my goal is 5 a month. You might think as a new person, I want to help 1 person a month. That's fine. Don't ever say only, just say what it is, because that's what matters. And the reason why is because if you know how many people you can help a month and you know what your goal is, it helps you see the timeline to give yourself, which I'm going to show you, to reach your goal in a realistic fashion. And then if you want to speed it up, you add more people you want to help, or you know what I'm saying? So that's number 2. Then the third thing is you have to invite people, and you need to lead with what worked for you. You should already be sharing on social media. If you're not, let's start there too. But, you know, To-Be Mindset, like Stephanie is like rocking the To-Be Mindset. Like, she's got bunnies, I love following, I get ideas from her and her journey. Like, that's her jam, right? For me right now, Lift 4 is mine because I have enough time to squeeze in those workouts 4 days a week and I'm not injured anymore. So I've been breadcrumbing that. But I also struggle with emotional eating. So Lift 4 and To-Be Mindset, when I talk to people, that's what my conversation's around, because that's what I'm doing and that's what they're seeing me do. So you want to be able to lead with what you love. And then you kind of know, okay, if I get, know how much the commissions are. And this is all stuff just to kind of float around in your head. And then I'll show you where to write it down. But just to know, like, if I help, it's $32 every To-Be Mindset kit I sell. Not the challenge pack, the kit. It's, I think, $50 for the actual challenge pack. Like, so know in your head, if I help 2 people, that's like, get the challenge pack, that's $100. And if they get the kit, that's $32, and so you're kind of knowing where you're at with your goals and how many people that you help. If Beachbody on Demand is your jam, then focus on getting Beachbody on Demand presented to people. And the 2 things you want to pay attention to when you're helping people and writing these things down is, some things are residual income, that's a one-time purchase, and some are ones that, or not residual, some are one-time purchase, and some are residual income. So somebody might buy a Shakeology shaker cup and a To-Be Mindset water bottle, and that's a one-time purchase. But then someone also might do Beachbody on Demand 3 months, and that means every quarter you're going to get that residual income. So kind of make note of that too, because we want to create loyalty in our customers. And so getting them connected with services that are going to keep them going is important. And that's why knowing the comp plan, it helps to know all the options we have out there. But start with what works for you. And then if you start to talk to the person and they don't like want to do lift 4 because they hate weights, or they couldn't think about drinking water and eating veggies first, reach out to your team and say, this is what's going on with this client. What do you recommend I do to start them with? Because you don't just stop with that. You serve them with their need. And then because you know we have a whole catalog, you don't need to feel limited that if I don't sell 5 challenge packs, I can't hit my goal. It doesn't have to be limited to that. So find what's best for them. Exactly. So I think that the important thing is every month you should print off. And if you're new, this is the $200 story. Stephanie, this was awesome. I don't know. Did you make this?
Oh, I'm going to take all the credit for that.
Because I got it from you. So I would start off with printing one of these. And if you are a coach who's brand new, I would write like your goal, the month, like July, and what your goal is. I want to make $100 this month. And then or if you have if you want to make $200 this month, like give yourself a deadline. It helps to have a deadline to work towards. That's the first step. And then what you do is every time you help someone, you write their name, you write what they ordered, you check off that you got them plugged into one of your accountability groups or whatever method you use, and then you write the commission total. And for every $10, there's a bubble at the bottom that you can fill in. So if you have a goal of helping 5 people, I would number these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and help them with what serves them and write the commissions down and track it. Now if you get to the number 5 and you're thinking, well, 2 of the people were clean week sample packs, I could still reach out to more people. Keep reaching out to people. But also if you number it to 5 and you saw you helped your 5, high five for that. Like, that's awesome. So that's the first step, is tracking it. And I would print one of these every month, like literally until you get to the point where she's going to talk about with franchising. This is your best way to see who you have. And she's got a great hospitality system you guys have seen with the cards. This is a great way of just tracking your commissions and kind of keeping them in a folder. Now, if you've been doing this for a while, if you've coached for a while, what I recommend you do is you write down not only your new people, but you also each week when your paycheck comes, you can click on your commissions on your online office and see what was commission earned. And I think there's a section that says renewals. But you can click and see, and then I would write down people who are residual as well. So I did an example here. So like this is, for example, say this was me. I made up all these names, by the way. I'm not creative. I was like, I got to think of all these people, and I shouldn't use people who are going to be on the calls.
John, Bill.
I don't have any men. I'm such a feminist. But what I did is like, I put the first, my first 5 are in because they're new, and I put their commissions over here. So I had like a clean week person for $7.49. And then Judy ordered the 2B mindset for $29.75 as my commission. Jill got Beachbody On Demand annual, which is $39.60. Sam got the Lift 4 challenge pack, which is $60. And Carrie got a quarterly Beachbody On Demand challenge pack, which is $40. So they're all new people. And I checked them off. Guys, that's $176.84. 2 of them are challenge packs, which is great, but not all of them. They all got started on their journey. But then on the bottom, these are examples of people who pop up each week because they renewed something. So like Sally had a Shakeology HD, which was $32 that maybe she ordered in June and she renewed it again in July. Emily got the Beachbody annual last year, and it goes back through this year, which is $39.60. Jamie got a Hydrate, which is $8.74. Liz got 2 boxes of Beach Bars, which was $19.98 that she gets every month. And someone needed another 2B Mindset tracker, which was $7.49. That's $118 from the month before that rolled over of commissions. So that means I earned just under $300. This is so I think it's important that you not only track the new, but you also track people who are continuing. Some of these people might not be in your group. Some of them could be leads even that you're not aware of. Because a lot of times, when you see what's coming back, you get excited about reaching out to new people because you see people are staying with you. Instead of just seeing the spots that haven't filled up for the month yet, you see the ones from the month before that are staying with the journey. And I would do this monthly, because it shows you also, it's just good data, like who's staying with you, how are you serving them, and we can talk on other times about presenting other products and that kind of stuff. But the main point is you're getting people connected to what's helping them, and you're earning commission, and you're owning your business because you're keeping a record of what you're making. So the beauty of it is what I love about this check sheet is it says to make sure they've got plugged in. When you help someone and you get them plugged in and you serve them with a thank you card in the mail and a challenge group where you're showing up daily with them, they're going to experience that life change that we want them to have. Some people faster than others. Someone might be in your group and be a triathlete who's like in love with the performance line. And then another person might be in your group who loves daily sunshine because her kids hate vegetables. And another one might be loving the beach bars because she used to eat Kind bars in the closet. And they love those products. So the next thing you can offer them, and this is where I was going to hand it to Stephanie, is you have raving fans, talk to them about the coach opportunity. And when you talk about the coach opportunity, like she and I were talking, you can be earning residual income to a certain point with commissions. But if you only want to build a business off commission and retail, it's stressful because you are the only go-to person for all of those people. So you have a challenge group with 50 people and you're the only coach. And I don't know about you, but if I was the only coach in our challenge groups right now, I'd hide because it would be hard. So the beauty is you have these people, some are Shakeology lovers, some are beach bar lovers, but they love the products and they're engaged in the groups. And so you decide, you know what? I want to offer this gift to them to open up their own little Beachbody franchise and benefit of the raving fans. And that's where volume, the other way of earning, comes in. And so I'm going to let Stephanie take over from this point.
I love it. Wow. Y'all have an amazing leader. I mean, Kelly is rock on. Amazing. So good. So good. It's funny because sometimes we get complacent. I'm preaching to myself here. 5 years into this journey, and I think I gave you that $200 sheet, and yet I don't fill it out every month. That's ridiculous. Like, that's not a business owner. So thank you for that tip. I love that. I came from a background kind of before Beachbody of pharmaceutical sales, and I worked for a company that was called Merck. And their corporate philosophy was, which is ironic, I know, like pharmaceuticals to what we do now. We could talk about that on another call, but people first and the profits will follow. And I love that if we keep that mantra in our forefront, that will create life change. That will create legacies for people, both for you and your clients. So I think to keep your personal purpose in this business in front of you all the time, the commissions will come, the franchise will come, the team will come, the growth will come. It may not come at the speed in which society tells you you need to be full tilt, but I promise you it will come, which is awesome. So I'm going to try to nerd out here for a second and share my screen.
I love you nerding out. You need to teach me how to nerd out. I have nerd envy.
Nerd out. And y'all don't bust me on how many tabs I have open, okay? I already know that's a problem.
It's okay.
It makes I have a 12-year-old. It makes him crazy. Can you guys see that? Can you see that going? Okay. So how to earn and grow. I don't need to pull that out, but we talked about retail, and then we're going to talk about franchise. And I gave Kelly, I love that she said hospitality, because I think about the fact that if you go to a hospital, that's the ultimate in hospitality, right? You may be sick, but you have someone caring for you. And if you've ever interfaced with a doctor, and I shouldn't have screen shared, I should have asked you this question first, but like, how many of you have ever just, The doctor does everything. He takes your blood pressure, your temperature, he changes your bedpan, he does your surgery. No, he has a team. And the beauty is the team can help more people, and that's what we want to do. So when we transition from just selling retail and we put on our franchisee hat, we want to think more globally. And if you went to Summit or you've heard some of the trainings, maybe on Bigger Team Courage or some of the stuff Kelly's talked about or I've talked about in our team page, volume. And volume is just a collection of, what you've sold, basically, or what people on your team have sold. So each month you can say this is very much like what she just showed you on the 200 PV. And you might be like, what are you talking about? And bear with me, hang with me. But what am I going to do this month to get to 500 PV? I'm going to back up and say that the very first coach that was ever asked to join Beachbody, her name was Milan Jensen. She's still around. She was the founding coach. And Carl came to her because she had a network marketing background. She was super successful with building teams and brands and launching products. And so in her mind, it was all about helping people and serving them, but it was about how do I generate volume of the appropriate, let's call it a bouquet of flowers, to sustain a business. And so she created an Emerald Strong concept. And we're going to talk about that a little bit today, just to whet your appetite, but that revolves around volume. What they've found is that 500 PV, that's personal volume, if you don't know what that means, and that means anything that you buy. So for example, I have a monthly Shakeology order, so that counts 90 PV, plus, sorry, I have a cat walking through, plus anything I sell. So that counts into my personal volume. So what groups or products will you promote, and on what dates? You're kind of thinking about your business. What am I going to do this month to sign at least one coach? So what tools will you share? Will you invite to a sneak peek, et cetera, whatever your team is doing? And what coaches under me will I help to get to 500 PV? What do they need to know to get there? So that's what we're going to talk about today. And every month, the rhythm is really find new people, invite them to something, invite them into your life, invite them into your challenge group, into your clean week, into a free challenge that you're doing. Share with them the tools that we have available in our toolkit, and then sponsor them into our team. What could be easier? I think we overcomplicate this, and I overthink it often. So I have to remind myself that, like Kelly said, find the things that you love and tell others about them. She already called me out. I'm a 2B mindset junkie, and I love to talk to people about that. I talked to somebody, my kids were getting haircuts, and I had on this Shakeology top, and this guy was like, what is that? And so, of course, I'm talking to him all about nutrition and water first and veggies most, but it's a very simple formula when you just start to let it be that. All right, we're talking about volume. Wait a minute. What about discount coaches, VIPs, super fans? We all have them. And I said, how did you start? I started as a super fan. I fell in love with Shakeology and I wanted to stay on it. And like Kelly said, my budget didn't allow it. So I wanted a discount. And then I said, I'll never coach. And then look at me, 5 years later, loving what I do. So don't discount those people. But the bottom line is it all adds up. Volume is volume. What you don't want to do is just to create an entire franchise full of people just getting a discount. What the goal is, and if you see under the tip, it says try to upgrade folks from Shakeology. So you have a Shakeology super fan. And then you talk to them, hey, I saw that you've been doing Lift 4. You're crushing it. I have an idea that's going to help you get more out of that. How about you try Energize this month? And so then all of a sudden they've got a Shakeology and an Energize home direct order going. And then they start to do 80-day obsession. They move on to that. And then they're meeting some of these other Beachbody performance line. And so you're like, oh man, a natural fit for you. You're going to love recovery after you're doing your workout. And that's really how you start to build some momentum and volume. Now, that discount coach may just still be a super fan. They may still be somebody who just loves the products and tries a lot of products and samples through them. And maybe they do beach bars one month and, Energize every month, and they kind of rotate through the performance line. But maybe they start to share. Maybe they start to have some amazing transformations. maybe that person starts to become more than just a super fan. They become a coach who then starts to generate 500 PV. Okay, so the 500 PV mindset. If you were at Summit, or if you've ever heard Milan Jensen speak, this is her slide. This is the only one I have from her, but Kelly kind of alluded to this. So we're meeting customers where they are. Our goal number one is to create raving customers, to provide them that customer service and make them loyal. Number two, it's to create customers who influence. Not only, so sometimes we think we gotta have them talk about our products and our challenge groups. You know what? If they only influence the people in their circle, if they only influence becoming a better mom for their family and a better wife and a better leader and a better community involver, that's okay. That's amazing influence. But number three is creating additional revenue per that customer. I love that Kelly brought up the tracker. I actually just ordered a new tracker because I left mine at the beach, but that's incremental revenue. Those trackers are, people need to order a new one, and it's such a great product. Why not? Solution, you may or may not have talked about this on your team, but I think where you can really make it simple. We provide fitness that's fun, and it is different for every single person. Nutrition that's simple. I happen to think that 2B Mindset is the best that we've got. And then a coach and community support for results. You cannot go wrong in our challenge groups. All right, so this slide is gonna, you're gonna look at this, glaze over, and that's okay. I'm gonna just fly over it and just tell you this. If you can imagine you and the big dot at the very top, that's you as a coach. You have 500 PV each month, okay? And then you have 2 coaches surrounding you. That makes you an Emerald coach. And you teach those 2 coaches how to fall in love with the products and start sharing some of their experience until they get to a point where they have built up 500 PV. So they've ordered their own product and they've shared it out to other people. Then when those people create, as Kelly said, advocates, they start to share out. And you see how this starts to blossom. This is not necessarily a challenge pack driven model. This is I've found your healthy formula. I've built my business on selling 2B Mindset challenge packs, 2B Mindset individual kits, Energize, and beach bars. So it's created this tribe environment and people duplicate that. Over time, and I did tell Kelly, I do believe that in your back office, if you watch Michael Neiman's video on Team Cycle Bonus, it's the best there is. All I can say is once you decide to go from retail to an Emerald coach, which knocks you into this kind of CEO position where you're a franchise owner at that point, you have 2 coaches, that allows you to earn team bonus on top of residual income and on top of any retail sales that you have. Back to the 500 PV, here are some tangible examples. And I wasn't trying to gloss over the, my cat is just all up in my business, sorry y'all. I'm not trying to gloss over the 500 PV model. That's a pretty complex thing. So I just want to touch on that and we can come back to that on a secondary call. But if you look on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see, well, if you're thinking how will I ever get to 500 PV? That seems crazy because all I do is order Shakeology. All right, got it. So Shakeology is almost 100, right? That's 90 if you're on Home Direct. You need 410 more personal volume points. Look at what you can offer people. Okay, you've got the second thing down is peak performance line. Energize, hydrate, recover, recharge. Those are anywhere from 15 to 160 personal volume. You've got a bunch of healthy digestion. Everyone's talking about gut health. Everyone's talking about poor digestion, foggy-headed, bloated. So we've got products that are in the Ultimate Reset line. Soothe, optimize, revitalize. You guys can read. I'll post this in the group page. But you can see there's a bunch of different ways that you can configure that. You find your thing that you love. You talk about it with everyone. And there you go. That's your 500 PV. So you're finding the need of the clients and you're serving them, following your purpose and serving others well each day. This will also get posted into the team page, but this is an example of Kelly talked about commission. I've talked about personal volume. Your head is spinning now. You're like, I am confused. Can you guys still see this? You can see at the top of this, it tells you what the product is, individual product solutions, the price the customer pays, if you sold one of them, what your personal volume would be, what the team volume would be, and what you would earn as commission. At the bottom right-hand side, it's kind of an amped up, like if you said, okay, my goal is 500 PV, and I love beach bars, okay? And I love talking to people about the 2-box beach bar. If you kind of come down, what is that, line 6 or whatever, you would need to sell 9 2-packs of beach bars to get to 540 PV, okay? And you can configure that a million different ways. Bottom line is good luck. You're on your own. No, I'm kidding. You're surrounded by an incredible tribe. Y'all get to make a difference in people's lives, one solution at a time, one person at a time, one day at a time. And being a team where we can come together and, you know, share all of that is a beautiful thing.
Thank you. I love how you laid that menu part out. Like, I think it's important. Even that's a nice way to have something you could print and stick in your work stuff, because the actual commission PDF for Beachbody is like probably 20 pages if you print it off. Like, so thank you so much. I love that. Do y'all have any questions? I think the whole Emerald Tribe and CEO and Emerald stuff, I think that would be a better next level call. We could collaborate, and maybe I could make a slide for because those were so cool. But what do y'all have? Any questions about anything? You could type them in the chat or unmute yourself.
I will say too, you may be like me. I remember thinking, there's no way I will ever coach. Okay. And then I started to run challenge groups, and I loved helping people. And then I said, there's no way I ever want to build a team because I don't want either the responsibility, or I didn't think I could do it. But it happens naturally. Again, when you follow the purpose, you follow the products and the potential that they have, you stay connected to your team and your tribe, it will happen. So all of you will have blossoming teams for sure.
Oh, for sure. And I love how, like, you laid it out. Like, I think there was a video Summer did today. I didn't catch the whole thing in the Team Courage page about this. So if you, well, we could all catch it on the second. Yeah, I gotta. But the part I heard was like, what, like we talked at the beginning, what's your goal right now? And don't worry about like your goal. I mean, yes, you want to think ahead of a year, but my point is, just make the first step, like help the first person, get your first coach. Like, just, I think the key is sometimes we think so much about all the steps we have to take to get to 500 PV or $500 that we don't do any action today. And so that's why, like, if you didn't, I mentioned to bring a business tracker and a list. It was more so because I want you to have one. It wasn't because I was going to teach anything about it. Sorry. But it was more like, because you need that. Like, you need to do the dailies. You need to do your power hour, half hour, whatever it is. And you need to know what you want to do this, but you don't have to complicate it. And I love how you laid it out so simply. Like, I think for me, I wish I would have known more about volume at the beginning, only because as I built my team, I could have helped people tap into it sooner, but it just wasn't taught. And I think it wasn't like it was a secret. It just, there wasn't a lot of training. And I remember when I saw the Michael Neiman video with all the superheroes, I was like it was crazy, but it made sense. And so I think the key with it is just, you need to start, if you've been a coach for 2 years, 5 years, 1 year, 6 months, you need to start by first looking at if you've earned anything, writing it down and being thankful for it. Not and take only out of your vocab. Like, don't say I've only. I caught myself saying that to Courtney. I only made, and he was like, excuse me. And I'm like, okay, sorry. But because I have goals, but you don't say only, because then you'll just keep being discouraged, and start tracking. Like, it's the same thing. If we don't track our food, we don't know why the scale's moving. If you don't track your business, you don't know why you're not covering your costs, track how many people you're talking to. try, you know, and I think it's just important. And that's what, because it is a business.
And
So
I'll share with y'all too, like this is a little bit off topic, but does anybody raise your hand if you struggle with getting a list? Anybody struggle with getting a list? Okay, so she's not on here, but one of my teammates, she had a brilliant idea because she struggled for a long time too. She was my second coach. I signed up my husband, and she was my first like actual person that I wasn't in family with. But so she's been around for almost as long as I have. And she said, my list, I kept getting stuck in the fact that I thought I had to create this like 1,000-person list. And she said, it really held her back. And so she just started posting about her life and her healthy journey. And her list became anybody that commented on her post, anybody that liked her post. Those people became her list. So y'all can flip the script. You can go the other way. You can make it that way. And I love that because how many of you post recipes ever? You ever posted a recipe? Right? Like we all share that stuff. So when somebody likes or comments, that's an easy conversation to be like, hey girl, thanks, you know, glad to see your name pop up. Looks like you're always interested in healthy recipes. Have you ever thought about joining my nutrition group? You'll get tons of recipes. Like that's so easy. Mm-hmm. So we have solutions for people. What's that?
We should write that down.
We have solutions for people, and we, you know, have a lot we can do with that. And that's why I love the volume model too, because I grew up in a model of either you sold a challenge pack or you did not have a client. That was the end, like one or none.
Yeah.
And I turned away a lot of, like, I really wish I had been a better list maker because those poor people could be eating it now, but now, so.
Right. Well, and I think you make a really valid point too, because like that's what I think, if you have a goal of how many people you want to help, but you don't pre-decide what you're going to set them up with, then you really, because to me, if you set somebody up with a challenge pack and they're not ready for Shakeology and that bag sits there and rots and they don't drink it, then rather than get them Beachbody on demand, have them be in a group, have them notice they have cravings, and 3 months later you're like, would you like to try it for a week? And they get the clean week sampler and then they love it. And then they're a lifer. Like patience is worth it, because it then, rather than the past, and and it's still a person, it's a life, it's a person that you've been able to help. And so I totally agree. I think, and I love what you said about that I've been going back, and that's where my lists are coming from too. Lately, it's like you said in that group, it's like giving them a high five back. Like they gave you a high five when they liked your post. Just, you know, it's not weird to reach out back. So I hope this helped you guys. Like I think the key is, like, I want to help y'all, and if Stephanie does too, like make money. You know, like it's a business, and if you're going to spend time, don't ever feel bad about being compensated for what you do. Like, because you give value in the challenge group by showing up, you give value by giving, like, your social media adds value. Like you give so much free content to people that when they are willing, and what I love about what we do is that you make money, but they're the products that they're doing, they're actually spending on themselves. Like, so if anything, the pearl in me feels like less icky, because to me, I only get a very small percentage, but you're consuming it. It's not like you're just giving me money and then I got to design the workout for you and blend the superfoods together. Like it's all done. You know what I'm saying? Like I could think about personal trainers and all the work they have to do to set up. Or I thought about this the other day, and if y'all have questions, or then we can wrap up. But before Beachbody, when I lived in Louisiana, I went to a gym. I had 2 kids at the time. And I went to the gym twice a week, and I did a kickboxing class. It was an hour and 15 minutes, cardio kickboxing. And the lady who taught her name was Tracy. I mean, this was like 10, 11 years ago, and I still remember. I remember where I stood in the room. My best friend Elise and I were there. We would meet. We would drop our kids off at childcare, and I took this class. Tracy talked the whole time. She busted her tail. It was like the best workout ever. I mean, I hate exercise, but I would go to this class. Granted, I only worked out twice a week, but it was an hour and 15 minutes, and I felt like it was good. And what I loved was she was talking to us. She was telling her story. She had a playlist going. She was, you know, in the crowd. She'd come kick next to me for a little while. I felt like she was my best friend, and I bet you she wouldn't know me from Adam now. But my point is, I was in her challenge group when I walked into that gym, and I paid a lot of money to belong to that gym, and she gave me VIP customer service for that hour of 15 minutes, and it didn't take a ton of her time. And if we looked at it, so don't think like the reason I'm sharing this is it's like if you show up and you are being that light in your challenge group and on your Facebook page, you have no idea. I think sometimes we don't know how much hope we're giving people that are in our groups, even the quiet ones. I never talked to her. I was super shy, but she would sometimes talk to me and I get all nervous. Like she'd hang out at the pool after and I'm like, oh, she's going to come over. Cause she was just a rock star to me. Cause she was an amazing, anyways, her story was incredible. But she shared her life. She told her stories. She talked about how she overcame stuff. She had a colostomy bag. Like she had to have all of that. It was they adopted. I knew all about her. And I felt like even though we weren't super close, now in a challenge group, we really get to know our challengers. But my point is don't underestimate. You might think I only do a little, but you do a lot by just showing up and being that person who shows them that they matter. I mean, if it wasn't for her, I would have never, ever, ever thought about trying a program called Les Mills Combat, at home, because when I had 5 kids, you couldn't pay me to go to a gym, with 5 kids. That was insane. And I used to go to the gym and I hated it because there was 20,000 televisions with all these videos going all the time. And all I wanted was a quiet space with no people, because I'm around people all day. So you don't underestimate too, the value of you showing up, because once you have a customer, yes, we want new, but you also want to take really good care of the people you have by just being present. It doesn't mean you got to message them every day. You don't have to text them every day, but just being present, because that's how you create those raving fans that Stephanie's talking about, where they want to be part of this community. And then you never know. I mean, like I said, I'm the same. I was like, I just need to save money. I will never sell this. I will never tell anybody that I drink a shake, because that's embarrassing. I was like, I don't want them to think I drink Slim Fast. I was so, and then I hear people say that to me and I'm like, oh man, I did the same thing. But don't underestimate the value that you give just now as they're following you, is I guess my point. If we get to do that, but now we get to do it through this, to the comfort of people's homes. So when you feel like you don't matter, show up anyway, because they need you to, so that they'll learn they matter, and because I think sometimes when you chase points, you chase after new sales and we forget the people who come back every month and keep purchasing. So that's just what I wanted to mention, that because I think it's just I just was thinking about that the other day. We do that, but we don't have to design the workout, and I don't have to make the playlist, and I don't have to do any of that. It's all done.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Gosh, I can't even imagine. I can't even make a slide on Google. I'm gonna keep picking on myself. The comp plan, you can search it in the Coach Online Office and FAQ. You can just type in comp plan. And then the $200 success story is in the files of our team page. Take a picture of what? What do I need to take a picture of?
I don't remember what you had up.
Was it the filled out form with the renewed?
Oh, the sample form, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll fill it out. I'll take a picture with my fake customers. Do y'all have any questions? I mean, this is an awesome opportunity. I'm so glad you reached out. This was fun.
Kelly, I just want to say thank you, because similar to Stephanie, I had in my mindset that if I didn't sell a challenge pack, I couldn't help people. And I think I did. I mean, it was close the door. Well, you don't want what I have. So, okay, bye. And I didn't serve well. And so with this mindset, I feel like I can serve so much better. There's so many different options, and I can really meet them where they're at. And it's made every week for me with that kind of mindset go better, because then I can tell my husband, I helped so-and-so get started today. And I think he's looking at me more and more, because now I can say, well, I got them started. He used to think I had to do X, Y, and Z in order to start a person. And now I'm like, hey, I got this person started. Really? Another one? I'm like, yeah, another one. Like, this person is just going to, dig back into their Beachbody on Demand that they already have, but I plugged her into a group, and so now she's connected and surrounded with support, And then this person, like, they're going to try the free trial, but they're getting started. Like, that's a win. So remembering that the small steps are still worth celebrating. And I have to remind myself that in my own business, because I help them celebrate that in their own life. So why don't I do that to myself? And then I'm such a picture person. So like seeing the volume and seeing the compensation that I get when I do help people take whatever size step they need to take is so helpful for me to know that I'm still moving my business forward. And if anybody else's husband is like mine with the numbers, they like to see numbers. Now it's like he understands how, when I say, I'm spending time doing this, he understands the number part, so thank you for doing this, because this helps to organize everything for me.
For sure. No, I'm glad. Y'all are awesome. Any questions? Anybody else have questions? She's got all the volume skills. So if you have volume questions, ask them now. That's what I told her. She was like, do you want to do the volume part? I was like, because I look at it and it makes sense, but when I try to say it, I still have a hard time. So I thought it was explained really well. Y'all are good. Oh, nice. We're all going to hit 500 PV this month and tell our $200 story. Well, thank you guys so much. Thanks, Stephanie. I will get the recording up, and I have the slides that she has, so I can post those for you guys. Do you have, and then you have the form, because I got that from you too. So awesome. Well, you guys have a good night. Actually, I usually close us in prayer. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's pray. Lord, I just thank you for this night. I'm so thankful for Stephanie. I'm thankful for her freedom fighters. God, she's such a soul sister, and it was so nice to be able to work together tonight to share about this amazing opportunity you've given us. I pray for everyone here tonight. I pray for those listening to this recording, God, that you would stir in them just a desire to focus on where your purpose is for them with this business. Like if someone is feeling stuck or someone is feeling defeated, God, that you would show them where they're winning. If somebody has goals, that you would give them courage to pursue their goals. And I just pray for those that we serve, Lord, that you would help us serve them well, that you would send coaches to our team to add to this amazing community, to further this message of wellness, that you would send customers and challengers and help us to meet their needs, God, and give us the wisdom to know how to serve their needs most. God, I just thank you for the way this business opportunity has changed my life. I thank you for my team. I thank you for Stephanie and for her team. And I thank you in advance for those lives that you are going to continue to send our way. And I just offer all of this to you, Lord, and thank you so much. In your most holy name we pray. Amen. All right, guys, I will get this up. Thank you so much for hopping on. Night.